Boxers and Brawlers.com with our first installment of the Fight Breakdown in affiliation with Studio1601music.com and DJAmmunition.com. We are your hosts. I'm Alvin.
I'm JD.
And I'm DJ Ammunition.
In early December, we got a big fight here in San Antonio. We got Canelo, and the opponent is not completely known yet. We have Kirkland. We have Demetrius Andrade, which is a young buck. I mean, I think this is this guy is really good. And then we got Clottey, who is a front runner in that discussion. JD, what do you think of those fights?
Especially with Clottey being the front runner. To be honest, I do not want to see Clottey and Canelo. Clottey hasn't shown his face on American soil in the past 6 some odd years. I won't be looking forward to that fight. Will I watch it? Definitely, I'll watch it. I'd be happy to see definitely is a James Kirkland against Canelo. Now, for as long as it would last, we're going to see fireworks. If it does happen, I'd pick Canelo over Kirkland, let's say by 10th round knockout, TKO.
So you're going to give Kirkland all the way to the 10th round, huh?
8th round. My apologies. 8th
okay.
round.
Now Demetrius Andrade, he's a young fighter. He's got some pretty good wins in his back. Now Clottey's more of a defensive fighter. I think that fight is not really a good fight for Canelo, but I think what he's trying to do is give the public, regular cable TV, a fight.
Yeah, of course. If Kirkland, me personally, I want to see Canelo fight Kirkland. I think it would be a great fight all around.
For all of Texas.
I still would give of course, Kirkland being from Austin, I still would give, my prediction would be Canelo. Canelo takes him out late rounds. But, you know, of course, with De La Hoya, he's really trying to stay away from pay-per-view. So that's why I guess Clottey is what's in mind right now. I think if Clottey fights Canelo, I mean, I really see, you know, maybe, you know, early round knockdown, and Clottey's not really going to come back from that. I really see Canelo taking him out early. Big shout out to Leija Bata, Jesse James Leija, Mike Bata for trying to bring him out here. They're trying really hard to get him into the Alamo Dome. They had to reschedule
for early December.
Of course, early December. All in all, you know, James Kirkland I think would be a way better fight, and you know it'd be an explosive fight too.
For what it would last, and I personally think that Canelo would take Kirkland out within 6 rounds. I mean, that's just my opinion. Demetrius Andrade, he's more of a boxer-puncher type fighter, young, hungry. I think that of those 3 opponents, I think Demetrius Andrade would give Canelo the most problems because he is a boxer-puncher and he can move and he can adjust. Clottey, I really don't have any really desire to see the fight. Will I watch it? Yeah, of course I'll watch it as well. But I think Clottey is a very defensive-minded fighter. I kind of see a Canelo Angulo all over again with Clottey just not taking as much punishment.
Definitely. Now, I would really love to see the James Kirkland fight with Canelo. The main reason is with Canelo coming off of the Lara fight in which we attended that fight. Left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, being that Lara really got on his bike and ran through that fight, and a lot of people expected a lot more action than what was shown in that fight. So, in order to make up for that, I believe the way to go would be with the James Kirkland.
All right, moving on to this weekend's fight, Mayweather-Maidana.
We got Mayhem, big fight coming up this year. Probably the biggest fight that we have going on this year. Mayweather and Maidana. Maidana's rematch to Mayweather, very controversial. You know, back with the moment, that was the first time they fought. Maidana, honestly, in my eyes, won. You know, but of course, with Floyd Money Mayweather, there's no way that you're gonna get away with beating Mayweather unless you knock him down. I mean, of course, look at this guy right here. He's got Floyd Mayweather Sr. on his shirt. We had a chance to meet them. We had a chance to see them for the Canelo Lara fight. You know, I really think Maidana's going to take this. He's going to knock out Mayweather.
Both fighters are making adjustments. I mean, Maidana brought in a strength and conditioning coach. The guy is pretty reputable. He worked with Morales in his past fights, in the trilogy with Barrera. He worked with Morales with the Pacquiao fights, and this guy really prepares his fighters. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and it's going to be tough now that Maidana knows that Mayweather cannot hurt him. I mean, he came out and said, hey, this guy can't hurt me. Broner hits harder.
Yeah, I don't believe that Maidana would be hurt by Mayweather, but what I do believe is that we're going to see a lot of the same Maidana that we saw in the first time around, except he's going to be doing volume punching twice as much. The pressure twice as much. Cutting off the ropes, twice as much. Everything he's going to be doing is the same, just a lot more. Whereas I see Mayweather making a lot more adjustments as far as boxing goes, utilizing the ring, and using
so
his jab.
in your eyes, Mayweather's going to be able to handle the more pressure that McDonough's going to put.
Definitely.
I mean, I don't know.
I really don't think that.
I see a more definitive decision with Mayweather.
I mean,
decision.
what's the reason behind that? I mean, do you think that Mayweather took McDonough lightly? I mean, knowing that he knocked out Broner in his last fight, I mean, how do you take a guy lightly?
I think Mayweather's scared at this point. You know, with Maidana, I think Mayweather really did run the ring that night. Maidana, he did great. His punch percentage, I mean, it was well above average. It's just that Maidana's gonna come with it, you know, this time. He really thinks in his mind that he won that first fight.
Is Maidana's power a factor in this fight? I mean, is it? I mean, we know he has power.
Definitely, he's got power. It is a factor. He does have enough power to where if he's behind on the scorecards, one punch could change the whole fight around. Definitely, it's not like he's just gonna land a punch, pity pat here or there, and not affect Mayweather.
So how do you prepare for that? I mean, how do you really prepare for that? If you're Mayweather and you're in the Mayweather camp, what do you do? I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, there's only so much you can move.
Mayweather's gonna run.
He's gonna utilize the ring more.
You know, a lot of people think that Mayweather, you know, he's real strategic in his counter punches.
He did spend some time.
He was a little bit. He was. I'll give him that.
He did spend some time on the ropes the last fight. I mean,
and to me, he adjusts really well. Take, for example, the first Jose Luis Castillo fight compared to the second one. Very controversial the first time around. The only person to ever get a rematch with Mayweather as of up to date.
This has been, what, 10, 12 years ago?
10, 12 years ago, but he
Mayweather
can still
is
adjust.
38 now.
Mayweather's older. I mean, let's look at some stats, okay? At the scorecard, we had 116, 112. We had 117, 111. Then we had the judge, and we don't know what the hell he was doing. He had 114, 114. If we look at some punch percentages right here, total punches landed by Mayweather is 54%. Okay? Maidana went with 26%. Then again, Mayweather, again, being strategic, he'll hit the gloves. He'll maybe pop in here or there. Yeah, I mean he's in it. He's in it for the score. He's in it for the stats. And of course, you know, that's part of boxing. But I really think Maidana's going to come with it. I think he's going to knock down Mayweather, and I think he's going to win this one.
I really think it's going to be a lot closer fight than what people think. I mean, I think I really think that McDonough's going to make some adjustments, and he's got a really, really good chance in dethroning Mayweather. I mean, I really do.
I believe it's going to be a more definitive fight for Mayweather this time around. I see Mayweather making some adjustments in the ring as far as boxing, utilizing the ring more, and we're going to see a more definitive decision. The 12-round unanimous decision is what I'm going to go with.
Make sure y'all tune in next week when we break down this fight and many others on BoxersandBrawlers.com.
And also be sure to visit the music page at studio1601music.com.
And of course, the official DJ, DJ Ammunition, DJAmmunition.com. Follow us there.
And you can look us up on Twitter. You can look us up on Facebook. And you can look us up on, we got a YouTube account. Till next time, we'll see you then.